And I think it's recording now. If not, we'll find out. Good morning, everyone. I am here with the first of many, I hope, author interviews that I'm going to be doing. And I am very honored to have Brian Biddulph on. I said your name right this time.
Perfect, perfect. I always tell folks, Mana, call me whatever you want, just don't call me late to dinner. But that's perfect.
Won't do that. No, I couldn't believe I said that backwards. But anyways, Ryan is, and I am really bad. This blogging from paradise is your blog, right?
Correct.
So, like I say, this is my first interview. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself to begin with?
Sure thing, Mano. First off, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I am a former fired security guard turned island hopping pro blogger. Long time ago, about 10 years ago, I was just kind of wading through life and I got let go from my peer guard job here in New Jersey. And I found out about this online bit, how you can make money online. So I dove into that, but I didn't have the best of intents. I was kind of a little too focused on the outcomes, like a lot of people are. So then I had some success over the years, but about 3.5 years ago in Fiji, literally right here,
I love the covers on your books.
Yeah. All my covers for my ebooks, I have 126 ebooks altogether, 2 on sales and 124 on Amazon. They're all the places I've visited. I tried to keep it really authentic. But I made a switch from like a make money online blog, which I really wasn't super passionate about, to blogging from paradise. And from there, I just started teaching people how to retire to a life of island hopping through smart blogging. I'd been traveling for a number of years with my wife, Kelly, seeing the world. And I'm just like, why not do it authentically? Why not just share the life I've lived with other folks if they want to travel, or even if they want to chill in their hometowns? These principles, these fundamentals, minus the digital nomad travel stuff, they really apply to everybody's blogs, following your passion, practicing, creating, and connecting. So I just teach folks how to build successful blogs, and this is where we're at right now.
Oh, well, I'm going to tell you, there for a while, I considered doing some traveling like you were talking about, but I'm more of a homebody, so I'll do mine the other way. So, okay, some of the questions I think you may have, I am astounded at how many books that you've written. I think it's 124 or 126, something like that?
Something around there.
When did you start deciding you wanted to do that? Did you do that from the beginning, or was that an afterthought?
It was right when I built my blog and brand. It was 2014. I wrote the first one, and somebody had mentioned it'd be a good idea for like your brand, because a lot of times we think blog, but I think brand first, because brand is like blog, books, business. It's what's like indelible. You want to like hold a brand like they do on cattle, so people remember you. I thought about writing one, How to Retire to a Life of Island Hopping Through Smart Blogging, for my blog and my brand. And then after I wrote that, my friend Rob Cubbin, who is also a digital nomad and feel grateful, he said I'm one of the guys who inspired him to start traveling the world and building a successful business. That he's an Udemy wizard. The guy's like phenomenal over there. But he's like, you deserve to write a second ebook. And I just thought it was a funny way, maybe it was a proper British way of saying it, but I thought it was a funny way for someone to kind of put it out there. He's like, you deserve to do that. And I'm like, okay. So then I wrote this one, How to Build an Online Empire Through Blog Commenting. And that was like everything that put it into motion. But then about a year and a half after that, when I was in Bali, I just got this idea, Mana, to call it an inspiration. But like when you clear out a lot of the fears and mental blocks, you just get in these zones where like you're not doing it, like something much bigger and just not much bigger, something infinite just kind of inhabit your body for a bit. And you're just kind of like, okay, I'll listen. So I just started writing an ebook every single day. I think at that point I had 10 ebooks self-published on Amazon. And I wrote and published a 6,000 word, 30-minute read ebook every single day for 3 months in a row. Oh, so wow. That's when I did the bulk of it. And it was just every morning I'd wake up in Bali, I'd go downstairs, I'd think about what can I write about today, blogging tips wise, mainly, but then I started writing about making money online, the experiences I'd had with my old blog, and then with Blogging in Paradise. And then I started to throw in some travel ebooks too, because I've been circling the globe for now 7 years as a full-time digital nomad. So entertaining stuff, some guides, but then just some entertaining stuff too, because I've been blessed to have some pretty wacky things happen on the road. So it was like that inspirational pull, and I just went nuts with it. And now I'm done with writing for a while, ebook-wise, and just promoting the suckers to gain a little more traction. But it was really that inspiring pull of like, write, Ryan, write. And I just started writing, and there you go.
I love being able to do the travels with you, going vicariously through you, especially in New York City. I've never been there. I want to ask you one thing though. Is there any specific reason why you chose the size book that you did, the 8.5 by 10 or 11 or whatever it is, rather than the other ones, the smaller?
Sure. I think at the time, just because I was never really heavily focused on paperbacks, I remember it was the easiest format to say, quote unquote, I'm such a techie here, I'm like tech allergic, but to convert is the right word. I was going to say transfer, but this shows you my knowledge of tech stuff with books. But to convert from like a PDF cover to paperback, at the time, I was told it was the easiest conversion method to get the DPI down, wherever the heck that is, like the resolution, so it looks somewhat palatable. So literally, that's the only reason why I chose it. I'm so heavily focused on Kindle and then also the audio books as well. I converted about 30 or 40 of them over, working with a producer. So I really didn't put a ton of thought. It was more ease. And I mean, I sell these, and my readers pick them up as keepsakes. But the heavy emphasis is on Kindle, and they're like, oh, 8 by 11 would be easiest. And I found that out because I remember trying some of the smaller covers, like, maybe more traditional paperbacks. These are more workbooks. They're not super, super long, like 15,000 words tops. So I went with that, just convenience factor.
Just curious, and I have read quite a few of your books, but can't tell you right now which ones they were. I started a few reviews, and I've lost that on my blog, so I kind of got to start over again. Let's see. It looks like you already answered the questions of why you write the books. Do you do them write them by hand? Do you write them on the computer or the phone? Or
actually, I write them in a Word doc. I open up a Word doc and I just go to town. I think about an outline first because it always helps. Number one, write what you know. And of course, you can do your due diligence, your research, depending on which area you are writing. Maybe fiction author, you learn about something, or even obviously nonfiction. But I line it up in a Word document. I start with my outline with each chapters, and then I just write, like, since they're shorter ebooks, like 30 to 45-minute reads, I treat it like it's a long-form blog post. So I just start lining it up, write it in the Word doc, and then from there, for Kindle, if it's for sales where I sell 2 of them, if you just convert it to PDF and upload it, you're good to go. But for Amazon Kindle, if you're a self-published author, you have to do the formatting bit, format it properly, save it as the HTML file or filtered, web filtered, I think it is in Word. Right. And then from there, the formatting's not too much of a deal, too big of a deal, I should say. But it's just writing in a Word document. That's why it's so easy for us these days, Mana. It's like in the past, there's so many barriers for published authors, self-published. It was such a different process when you had to go to a publishing house. And for us, it's like, if you have some knowledge, people are reading things on their Kindle more than ever, you could write a Kindle real quickly, and then through, say, CreateSpace, just convert it to a paperback, even if it's lighter weight, and then people have that to purchase and enjoy. And it's just a beautiful thing, the world we live in now for self-published authors.
I know it is. A lot of people, I think kind of look down on it and everything, but I look at it as a way for people like us can actually get out there, whereas otherwise there would be no way.
Exactly. And I realize too, all criticism is a projection. So anybody that looks down on us, they admire us. I'm a big fan of haters are confused admirers. And if they really didn't care, they wouldn't pay attention. And in the beginning, like published authors, some folks would come along and just totally skewer my ebooks because I'm not, Hemingway would turn in his grave. Like, I am very much a down-home writer, very informal, but I give people permission to write in their voice and write self-published bestsellers. And a number of mine have become bestsellers Kindle-wise. And it's such a beautiful gift that we have where anybody can start now with the self-published route, get an ebook up on Amazon and learn and get clear and practice. And I just think It's not even so much level the playing field, but we could all tap into that abundance and inspire people and express ourselves and earn a sweet living through this medium the more we learn about it and the more we practice.
Right, exactly. I agree with you on the writing, because that's pretty much how I do. I just, like you were sitting at the kitchen table or something, that's how I write. So, have you wrote any that you have tossed aside? It didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to, or
Since it's more like a Kindle deal where it's not like going through a publishing house or really like, I guess it's like a paperback where I take it more quote unquote seriously. No, actually, there was one that I changed direction. All of them I've gone live with, I've self-published, but there was one I remember, How to Retire to a Life of Island Hopping, Be Smart, or How to Retire to a Life of Island Hopping Part 2. The sequel to this, but I didn't go as much into the blogging aspect of it. I remember I wrote a couple chapters and it was really stiff. It was totally not me.
right.
So I was at the airport, we were doing a trip to Bali. It was actually, this is one of the ebooks that got me going on that tear. Now I think about it, because we were on the way to Bali. I remember it was like snow and we were in the airport at JFK in the city. And I scrapped the first 3 chapters. I'm like, this is stiff. And then I wrote it from my heart. So that one, I went with the same book, but that's the only one where I've actually scrapped chapters. And it was because I didn't write it from that intuitive pull. I was trying to write the ebook versus letting it just flow. And as you know, those are 2 totally different energies. So I got rid of the self-conscious stuff and I just went with it. So I still wrote the ebook, but I've written, actually I think it was about half. It was probably like 7,000, 8,000 words. And I'm like, screw this. And I just deleted it. And then I went ahead and I wrote it from a different space, and then everything flowed. And like all those ebooks too, those 90 in 3 months, they just flowed.
If you're not happy with it, nobody else is going to be either. That's the way I look at it too.
They reflect back to you. Yeah, you see self-tortured, or tortured, self-tortured, of course, tortured author syndrome, and the starving artists. They have to find their own clarity because the world just reflects back to them their stuff. And by stuff, I mean the fears, all that stuff we bury. So yeah, you have to really get clear on it yourself, and then people will mirror that back to you through their feedback, through their reviews, through the love. So it's all about doing the inner work right, feel clear, feel good, and then people will reflect that back to you.
Do you have any one of your ones that are your favorite more than the others, or?
I love them all, but I have to say this one, because it was the first one, How to Retire to a Life of Island Hopping Through Smart Blogging, just because it set everything in motion. It was the ebook where I'm like, okay, let me write this to get it out there for my blog and my brand. And then I also got the idea to do the covers. Like, this is the driveway. We were in Sabu Sabu, Fiji for 4 months in 2014. And I got the idea. I'm like, you know what? Let's make it simple. Let's make it authentic. I'll just use the Blogging from Paradise logo, so then people will know to check bloggingparadise.com. I'm always thinking connecting all these pieces of cyber real estate, like smart branding. And I'm like, let me just use a picture. And I'm going to do that for all my ebook covers, simple, clean, basic, of where I've been. And like I said, even though I do the design myself because it's very simple, I've probably paid more for ebook covers than any self-published author in history when you tabulate my plane ticket. How much it's costed. So yeah, that's definitely the one that's nearest and dearest to my heart, but I love them all.
That's good. Is there any other place besides Amazon that you have your books up at or listed?
Yes, I have 2 up on sales. Actually, my first 2, because they're meatier. They're not just, they're a little beyond the 30-minute read, I think. So I have these 2, How to Retire to a Life of Island, How to Be Smart Blogging, and How to Build an Online Empire Through Blog Commenting. I have those up on sales. And again, I uploaded them there. I charge I believe, I think it's like $15 because they're longer reads, and because I wanted to switch it up a little bit to diversify income stream wise, kind of putting them out there on their own, and then have the other ones, 24, on Amazon that are like shorter, that fit into that 30 to 45-minute bite-sized category with Amazon quite nicely. And then I also have audiobooks. I've turned about 30 or 40 of them into audiobooks, and I have those on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes to diversify as well. But I use co-producers with that. I co-created them with producers because I would like to do it myself, but you really need that studio quality audio for Audible to accept them, which I understand. So I'm like, just work with producers. And some of these guys, I think they've been on commercials. Their voice sounds so familiar. So that diversifies things as well.
Okay, I hear you're getting ready to take off again pretty soon, though.
Yes, we are. We've kept it a secret from folks, but in a couple of weeks we'll make the announcement. We'd like to do a little before heading to Thailand. We're heading back to Chiang Mai in northern Thailand, which is where we were at last year. Where if anybody that follows me, that's where I saw the centipedes and the scorpions and the bird-eating tarantulas in the house. That was an interesting place. But in addition to all that wacky stuff, which I found kind of fun, it's also, excuse me, our favorite place in the world. You know, the Thai people are so generous and kind, and the food is amazing, and the culture is very fascinating. So yeah, we're heading back to northern Thailand the end of this month. The end of this month, and then we'll be there for 6 weeks, and then after that, we will see where the winds take us.
Okay, well, as long as you have internet connection and everything, we can still keep up with you and keep on what's going on. And
yeah, we're doing a house sit, and it's a high-speed connection. The boyfriend who lives there, he does programming and stuff, so he needs a high speed, so it's perfect for us. And that's where I do my video. That's actually where I started the Facebook Live broadcast, like in depth, or like in earnest, I should say. So, and it was on my laptop, so it wasn't as good, but on the phone now it'll be rocking. So yeah, I'll be posting those updates.
Okay, well, I know you are very busy, and I think we've pretty much answered all the questions. And since this is my first one, I hope this turned out good, recorded and everything, because I know I would have tons of questions to keep asking you, but I'm not going to keep you on here all day. So anybody wants to get Ryan's books, they can go to blogging. What is it again? I forget.
Okay. Blogging from Paradise. Yeah, no worries. Bloggingfromparadise.com is the main website. And if you click the ebooks tab, it'll take you to a breakdown of all of my ebooks by category. You could also find me on Amazon. Bloggingparadise.com is probably better just because when you click on the tab, I line them up by category. So if you want to get into the online ones or blogging tips or travel, you'll be able to categorize them a little bit. But thank you so much, Mana. I really appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you very much coming on my first interview, and I hope to do a lot more, and maybe later on we'll have you back again from another beyond place that you're at or something.
Most definitely. Oh, I'd love to do it. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, thank you, Brian, and you have a good day, and we will be talking to you later.
Thanks, Mana.
Bye, Ryan.